King Vegeta's unrelenting desire for vengeance against Frieza and King Cold led him to pin all his hopes on his child, none other than Prince Vegeta. Prince Vegeta was pushed to his limits over and over again during multiple training sessions back on planet Vegeta. This led to Prince Vegeta detesting his life on planet Vegeta and actually wanted nothing more than to escape from this grueling experience. And he was provided the opportunity when Frieza ended up destroying planet Vegeta. Vegeta was out on a mission with Raditz and a few other Saiyans, so he was fortunately spared. Even though Vegeta detested King Vegeta, he still wanted to take down Frieza for good. He doesn't like Frieza at all. Frieza saw them as mere tools and pawns, and Vegeta could see that. He was going to continue training over and over again until one day where he would be powerful enough to overpower Frieza. So we move in time skip. So now Vegeta and Nappa are on a planet ravaging and savaging the remains of the planet. So Vegeta has been training all this time. His power is far higher than the original canon self. And now he has heard that Raditz had just died to a bunch of Earthlings on Earth. So he and Nappa decide to make their way there. So as usual, Goku arrives on the scene and face off against Vegeta. Just that the main difference is that Vegeta here is at a power level of 100,000 instead of 18,000. So he's been doing grueling training in order to try to catch up to Frieza. And as we all know, Goku at a power level 8,000 even with Kaioken is no match at all for Prince Vegeta. So Prince Vegeta threatens them, telling them to pass him the Dragon Balls. If not, he would destroy Earth. Kami knew this was gonna be a bad sign, so he decided to communicate with Bulma, telling Bulma to bring Vegeta on a wild goose chase. So Bulma suggests using the Dragon Radar to locate the Dragon Balls, while Kami communicates with Piccolo Jr., telling him that fusing together into the true Namekian warrior was their only solution at this point in time. Nappa was still there guarding the Z Fighters, while Vegeta and Bulma left on their trip to find the Dragon Balls. Goku was too injured to fight Nappa at this point in time. However, he still had one trick up his sleeve. He still had a Senzu Bean left. So as soon as Vegeta and Bulma were out of sight, Goku ate the Senzu Bean, immediately taking down Nappa and destroying his starter before he could communicate anything to Vegeta. Piccolo places a hand on Kami's shoulder, and Kami starts to power up, and Piccolo feels an immense surge of power as Kami disappears, and power fills up his body. Piccolo couldn't believe it. His power had just multiplied significantly. And as Bulma and Vegeta finally find their first Dragon Ball, Vegeta suddenly realizes that the Dragon Ball suddenly just turned to stone. This was a sham. Vegeta was pissed off. Did they scam him? And at that time, his scouter exploded. Piccolo had just powered up on accident and alerted Vegeta to his presence. So, how will things turn out from here? Well, these are questions we'll answer today on Dragon Ball Z. Vegeta immediately rushes back to where the Z Fighters were located and sees a newly powered up Piccolo. Piccolo was pretty confident of his power now. However, he did not know that Vegeta was actually able to suppress his power level. After training intensely, even though Vegeta still couldn't sense power levels and still had to rely on the scouter for that, he could control his power. So Piccolo was actually outmatched in this situation. So in order to power scale Piccolo properly, I just want to take a look at a video done by Saiyan Scholar on the Dragon Ball Z Android Saga power levels. So after some intense research, aka 1 minute of viewing the video, I realized that Piccolo got about a 3.8 times boost when he fused with Kami in the Android Saga. So taking that into account, this means that Piccolo is now at a power level of 14,000, which is quite impressive for Piccolo in the Saiyan Saga, but it does not even match up to Vegeta at all. And Vegeta knew this as he powered up even further and completely obliterates Piccolo. So Vegeta had enough of this. This entire thing was just a waste of time. Now that he knew that Piccolo was the one who had created the Dragon Balls, he knew where to go from here, aka Planet Namek. So he charged out the Galiga and launched it straight towards Earth before leaving in his space pod. Just like that, Earth was completely obliterated as Vegeta now set his sights on Planet Namek. So is this the end of the road for Goku and the gang? Well, not really. Now we move over to the other world. King Yama is shocked. There were millions, billions of souls lining up. However, he knew where he had to look. He finds out that Goku and the rest of the gang had been killed by this person called Vegeta. So King Yama decides to allow Goku and the gang to keep their bodies. So now they have a plan formulated. So he directs them to the Snake Way, where they'll eventually meet up with King Kai as usual. Goku had already traveled there once and will be able to travel there in a short and brief period of time. However, the main power that they wanted to use with King Kai was King Kai's telepathy. If they are able to communicate with the Namekians on Planet Namek, maybe, just maybe, they will be able to stop Vegeta. So now we move over to Planet Namek. Vegeta arrives on Planet Namek just to realize that Frieza had already made his way there, listening to Vegeta and Namba's conversations back on planet Earth. So Frieza was here for the Dragon Balls as well, and Vegeta, who could now sense power levels, knew that he was still no match for Frieza at this point in time. That means that Vegeta would have to take a stealthier approach if he wanted to beat Frieza at his own game. Now this is a point in time where Frieza loots the village that houses both Dende and Grand Elder Muri. And without Gohan and Krillin there to intervene, well, things do not end well. Dende is killed, and Grand Elder Muri, even though he manages to destroy the Scouters owned by Frieza, he is also killed as well. Afterwards, the rest of the events play on as usual, with Vegeta obliterating Twig. And this is where events start to change very drastically. Originally, Dodario chases Gohan and Krillin and was isolated from the rest of Frieza's army, so that Vegeta was able to take advantage of the situation and kill off Dodario. However, in this version of events, Frieza sends Dodario and Zarbon together to collect the Dragon Balls around Namek. So they're not isolated from each other. But that doesn't mean Vegeta doesn't have a plan up his sleeve. Having the ability to sense power levels unlike the rest of Frieza's army, Vegeta takes advantage of this and goes to several Namekian villages to loot and kill off the villagers and obtains a lot of Dragon Balls. So he knows that he has to kill Frieza's army first before he can get to Frieza. So as soon as he senses Dodario and Zarbon leaving Frieza's side, he waits for an opportunity to strike. As Dodario and Zarbon manage to get their hands on the 4-star Namekian Dragon Ball, Vegeta appears out of nowhere, cleaning them off just like that. So how will things develop on from here? Will Vegeta be able to prevail, or will Frieza be able to get his wish? Well, these are questions we'll answer on the next part on Dragon Ball Z.